Well, predicting the weather is one thing, but forecasting the political outlook is a real challenge. Let's start with the economy. In the East Midlands, we've seen some of the highest economic growth outside of London, but also some of the lowest wages in the country. Some say Brexit will bring sunshine and blue skies, but others say an economic rainstorm will dampen the region's commercial prospects. Several Labour MPs mutinied against Jeremy Corbyn last year. Now, the winds of political change could blow through the revolving doors of Westminster again, but some familiar faces from the East Midlands may have to stay out in the cold for a little longer yet. And the Conservatives? Well, there was an icy reception for some East Midlands MPs in Theresa May's new regime, but could a thaw be in the offing? Reshuffles are notoriously hard to predict, but in the climate of Brexit, that carousel of high and low pressure around the cabinet table will intensify. Anything is possible. Then there's HS2. It was a foggy picture for much of 2016. Toten or not Toten? Which route will they take? When will the building start? Well, whether that blanket of fog lifts or not in 2017, the issue is so complex it's likely there'll be some mist patches surrounding the finer details for some time yet. And what about the electrification of the East Midlands rail services? Will we be able to get to London at lightning speed? Or will there be a storm over delays to the project? The government says it's committed, but East Midlands MPs on all sides are suspicious it's dragging its feet. And talking of rail, building has now started on the rail freight interchange near Castle Donington. It promises a jet stream of jobs for the East Midlands. 7,000 is projected, but opponents warn of a tornado of environmental problems. And what of devolution, or the lack of it here in the East Midlands? It was a confusing year with occluded fronts on all sides, and a failure to agree with neighbours has left plans for a North Midlands combined authority blowing in the wind. Meanwhile, the sun shines on a devolution deal in the West Midlands. Perhaps the spring will allow new plans for our region to blossom. As we've been hearing, health looks set to dominate the political weather. Dark clouds seem to gather over some of our local hospitals in 2016. Warnings about the closure of Glenfield's Children's Heart Unit in Leicester and a review of several smaller hospitals could bring changeable conditions for patients. We'll have to stay tuned to the forecast to see how both situations develop. A&E units are under pressure, and EMAS was named the nation's worst performing ambulance service for hospital handovers. A blizzard of calls in the new year stretched the service even further. If the inclement conditions continue for EMAS, tough budgets and high demand could create the perfect storm for the service in 2017. All in all, it's a changeable forecast for the East Midlands political weather in 2017. Stay tuned for further updates.